10-9, 2 outs in the ninth. Ground ball under the glove of the shortstop, Kiner Falefa. In to score, Vasquez. Swanson touches home, and the Cubs have the lead. Christian Bethancourt has knocked in 7 from the win of the year. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Ball game. Cubs win. The win of the year. What a rally and comeback as they finish off the sweep in Pittsburgh.
Welcome in, y'all. I'm your boy, Gabriel Vasquez, your host for Boricua Sports. And boy, do we have a podcast for you guys. We're going to go over this stunning breakdown, as you just saw in the last clip, the amazing comeback against the Pirates in a historic 3-game series. So boy, do we have a treat for you all. But first, this podcast is brought to you by Vienna Beef Hot Dogs, Chicago's finest dogs. Go to your local Vienna Beef or Chicago hot dog restaurant and try yourself a Chicago-style hot dog. I promise y'all, you won't regret it. But what's up, you guys? Welcome to the podcast of Boricua Sports. I'm your host, like previously said, Gabriel Vasquez. And like you just saw on this clip, a little snippet, a little sneak peek of an amazing comeback, an amazing seal to a great series for Chicago Cubs that might, just might, get them in to that last wild card spot. So let's break it down for you guys. An amazing series, and Cubs, well, not to spoil the party, but they swept all 3 games. A big key series wherein the Pirates, not very good, down in the bottom of the pile of the division, in the Central Division, but the Cubs made a name for themselves, and they are rocking and rolling. Had an amazing game 1, as we have pull up the stats here for you guys. Amazing stunner, scoring 18 runs, winning by 10 runs. That is an amazing accomplishment and defeat. Their highest season total of runs throughout the year. And it did it in grand fashion, in historic fashion, I should say, swiping 8 bags, the first since 1911. And the young stud Pico Armstrong, well, you give him credit, he has exactly 3 of those stolen bags. Had to look at my little notes here. Grand slam by none other than Dansby Swanson. That's his 3rd career granny, and he's been picking it up a lot himself too. This whole Cubs lineup has been on a tear, pushing for this wild card spot, hoping, praying that they can do anything they can to push for this spot. I mean, they're hitting amazing. Their bullpen has been the best in baseball since late June. They are just scoring at a consistent pace, and they're winning ball games, but most importantly, winning series. And I understand that, there are not great teams that we are playing right now, but it's enough. And all that matters in the game of baseball is confidence, a confidence booster to help your club go far and go big, to think, yeah, we have a shot at this. Any team has a shot. We saw last year with Diamondbacks, they were at the bottom of the barrel. They just squeaked into the playoffs. Actually was the reason why the Cubs missed. They were the one that took their spot because they had the tiebreaker. And they went to the World Series. They won the pennant. If that could be a replica of the Cubs going into possibly the next season, especially since we had a high hope for, I guess, in this offseason, even carrying into last season with how we finished, that strong run we had in the late summer, but we ended up, falling short in the whole month of September, just going a horrible, horrible stretch with just absolute choking and not sealing games and essentially losing our spot. And we had a 92% chance to make the playoffs last season. But enough of last season. We're in this season. It's 2024, and we're ready to keep rolling. So, like previously mentioned, scoring 18 runs in their first game against the series, acquiring 21 hits, like that doesn't get any better than that. Coming back into the next series, another stunning victory. Not stunning per se, but commanding, I should say. That's the better word. But they locked down that win. A nice 9-5 in that game. So again, high scoring runs. And I have a stat here as well that I pull up for you guys. In the last 7 games, The Cubs are scoring 73 runs. That is outstanding. That is what wins you ball games. With the pitching staff that Chicago has, that will help this club go above and beyond and go absolutely into a incredible run that can get them in that spot. I mean, they are hitting the ball, pitching, being consistent, and their bottom of the order guys are producing. Pico Armstrong and Miguel Amaya both went 7 for 10 with 5 RBIs in that 8th and 9th spot. Could not get any better than that. That is what you want to see in this ball club. And it is showing. And they have, I don't know what they're eating or what they're drinking or what their routine is, but it is working. And my biggest motto in just the sports world with teams and players, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And that is exactly how the Cubs are doing right now. And they are proving everyone wrong from the start of the season until now. And we just have some great stacks. And to continue with that last 7-8, game statistical stat, the Cubs run per game is 10. 10 runs per game. Absolutely, in the last 8 games. Home runs is 14. Extra base hits is 43. And get this. Runners in scoring position. Their batting average, 321. That is elite. That will get you over the hump. There will be no other team, I guarantee you, no other team will lose if they have that type of batting average with runners, not just on base, in scoring position. They're picking it up, doing all the right things, and Chicago's in high hopes right now. They're on a 3-game winning streak, so this is amazing. And as a fan, we love to see this. We just went through the second game, Jameson Taillon going over 6 innings, 6-2 to be exact, keeping the game, keeping the Cubs in it, and their offense doing the work. And, if you are giving up 3, 4, 5 runs, that's fine. Totally fine. But as long as your offense is producing and scoring 7, 8, 9 runs and your bullpen is consistent, you will have W's on your record. Exactly what Chicago is doing as of late, and they could not be happier. But now it's up to the historic Game 3 of the series. And there are some crazy stats in this particular game. So, Paul Skeens on the mound, and you think you already lost. With Paul Skeens, it's over. It is what it is. Goodbye. No. The Cubs scored 3 runs in their first 2 innings, but Kyle Hendricks and his struggles this year with the long ball and just commanding hitters and not getting them on base, struggle. Cubs will end up falling 6-3 and end up 7-3 with Hendricks' time in the game, and then the game got away from them and ended up being 10-3. The Cubs get into the 7th inning, and they are crawling back. And they come all the way back to take the lead in the 9th inning. How is this possible? Who is to blame for this fiasco? Pirates pitching? Cubs hitting? Choking defense? Uncharacteristic base running? No. Christian Bethancourt, newly acquired catcher, replacing Yan Gomes about, I want to say, a month and a half, close to 2 months ago, has been on an absolute tear since joining Chicago. An absolute tear. He himself has 7 of the 14 runs the Cubs scored that day. That is how you win ball games, and that is how you help your team stay in the win column. Absolutely stunning. That will complete the sweep, and I believe that game will help the Cubs push for this wildcard spot that they've been eyeing for about a month now. Going 16-8 in the month of August is going to propel them and help them go and pass the Mets and the Braves and stun the baseball world. They have a lot of work to do, but they can do it. As of right now, they've been bouncing around that 5 and 5.5 spot for the wild card. That's exactly where they sit right now at 5.5 games, 3.5, 2.5 behind the Mets. Again, 5.5 behind the Braves, and we have a month left to go. It is the home stretch for Chicago. They're in the same spot they were last year, just a little more down. All they need is more consistent hitting, elite closing from their bullpen, and the consistency of the starting pitching that they've been having. If they can do that, Chicago will be on a tear, make that playoff push, and it's a whole new ball game for Chicago. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know, Cubs Nation, where you at? We got to go crazy. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you next time on Boricua Sports. I'm out.